Okay. Took me a little while to make a response, but I have it now. So I had to sit back and take some notes, and I figured out something. You are a narcissist, and the very first definition when you search up narcissist on Google is thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others, which leads to my first point. You never mention what you would say to us versus what you would say to Alan. Yes, what you would say to him didn't seem obsessive, but it was more what you would say to us about him. To Alan's face, you wanted to seem understanding, but when you were behind his back talking to us or calling us, it was mostly about Alan, and it wasn't really feeling like you actually cared about us. Especially in the group chat, I honestly don't think I could find one thing from you that wasn't about Alan or didn't involve Alan in the group chat. And from our perspective, me and Eris's, it really did seem like you were completely obsessed with him. I asked her, hey Eris, what do you think Sophia posts most about on her when she talks to herself at the group chat? And she said, oh, I guess that's kind of Alan. Because I didn't want to talk to her face when I was making this. Okay. You said, I want to trust you guys with my secrets like how you guys can trust me with yours. I really don't think just because of how you were so willing to share our private group chat to your boyfriend, who might add lives in the same house as Eris, while we talk about him and a ton of other people, which ended up in Alan blackmailing Eris about all of what we said to her mom. He thought it was super funny, while in reality it really wasn't funny at all. And the only reason why I know that is because Eris called me and she was like, hey, I'm really concerned why he's doing this. I think she shared it. And I was like, wonder what else she's sharing, and wonder who else she would be so willing to share our private chats to, because you were so willing to share it with Alan. And honestly, I thought you were a girl's girl, but you were so willing to share these videos and chats, it really breaks my trust and willingness to trust you. And it's also the fact that you would think that I would gossip about you when you say in the group chat. All this preaching about trust doesn't feel reciprocated when you just flat out say I don't trust you and gossiping about me to other people. And why would you think I would gossip? Have I ever gossiped about you before? No, because I'm not a piece of shit. You're one of my closer friends now. At least I thought you were, and you didn't trust me not to gossip about you? That kind of just doesn't make me want to trust you at all for anything. And it also felt like you didn't trust or respect that Alan has other priorities than you in his life. It seemed like you never trusted him in your relationship because you always assumed the worst of what he thought of you, which is also obsessive and really not a healthy relationship or dynamic between the two of you. Remember while we were in the alibi, Eris said, oh yeah, we were just kind of talking. Alan was kind of saying, I like she eats a lot, and that's probably really healthy of her because she just seems kind of like she needs to eat more, and she's like, kind of like, she needs to eat. She's happy, and she's eating, and like, she's happy in the relationship, you know? But then you ended up fucking going on a diet while you are already underweight, and then you just took it as you basically eat too much because obviously you have to be this thin and 20 pounds. So Alan likes you, which is stupid, and it's also obsessive with what he thinks of you, which is not healthy. Like, it's not healthy mentally. And you're already pretty underweight as it is, so why would you automatically assume you have to be like 20 pounds for him to like you? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, you might be insecure, but you can't be that insecure to, like, say, I'm willing to be this thin and 20 pounds just so a guy will like me. Okay. You'd also ask him constantly if he was mad at you, and he would pretty much always reassure you that it wasn't your fault, or he wouldn't tell you because it was probably private, and he doesn't want people to know about it. And it might be just personal. And whatever he felt, but you kept annoying and pushing him to the point I don't think he wanted to respond because he felt uncomfortable talking to you about his personal issues while you would just kept pushing him and saying, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Like, that's a little weird. Yeah, you never got mad at Alan to his face, but it doesn't matter who you showed those emotions to, you still felt them towards Alan. And it's also the fact that you don't have any responsibilities throughout your day like the rest of us. No work, siblings, cousins, sports, like hobbies that you have to be stressed about and like to be mad or stressed about. But Alan does have a few of these, and so his day can't always revolve around you and what you want him to do. And I don't believe his actions were intentional to like fully hurt you, because I know that he probably didn't want to make you seem stressed. He didn't want you stressed, he just wanted you to be happy. But no, anytime he wouldn't respond to you, you would not eat or sleep, which is really, really unhealthy of you. And I'm also sorry that he didn't apologize to you in the exact step-by-step way you wanted him to. And maybe that was another reason why your relationship didn't work out in the end. It's not just you, it's kind of both of you guys weren't really. And you also said that you didn't want him to feel obligated to hang out with you, but instead you pressured him to hang out with you because you kept telling him you weren't able to eat or sleep without him talking to you. And he also saw you more than his friends. I asked Iris, I just asked her. And he really only saw them at open gyms. And really, open gyms or for basketball are only like twice a week for like 2 hours. They're not really that long. And I guess us as your friends can have as many excuses as you want to ignore us and brush us off, and we just have to take it. But we can't do that to you. And yes, I completely understand that a friend and a boyfriend dynamics are completely different, but you still need to care about your friends the same amount you would your boyfriend. Yeah, we don't want to have sex with you. You still need to put in effort to keep us as your friends. Because friends in high school are far likely to last longer than a boyfriend in high school was, and just brushing us off does not make us feel like want us to be your friends. And you completely brush us off, and if you continue to brush us off, but Alan can't do that to you, how do you expect that we will still be your friend and welcome you with open arms when you break up? Because I'm amazed Eris did that. She's like, oh, she was so willing to stay your friend. Well, you are turning. But also, I'd like to mention you're turning into one of those girls who abandon their friends when they get a boyfriend, and when the relationship ends, completely expect everything will be the same after the breakup, which is also obsessive to the boyfriend, because I know you don't want us to be in the way of the relationship. And also, what do you have to be stressed about? Since, like I said before, you don't have any siblings, work, you don't have a job, you don't do sports, you don't even have a fucking hobby. So you don't also actually try to keep relationships or contact with friends, but I'll get to that later. So what do you have to be stressed about, really? In all, like, seriousness, what do you have to be stressed about? I don't fucking know. But you said that it is completely normal to not eat or sleep, which, hindsight, make eye contact with me. It's fucking not. And normalizing unhealthy habits doesn't make them healthy. Like eating arsenic is not healthy. But people normalized that in the 1950s, so why isn't that completely healthy? Because it's not. It is a real problem when you can't eat or sleep, but when you are constantly telling your boyfriend and friends that you can't eat or sleep is not only unnecessary, it seems like you are just trying to guilt them into giving the attention you want, or to anyone who will listen, because I know you probably told other people, I can't eat, I can't sleep when I'm stressed. That's annoying. And what I get from anything is you send in the group chat is that you play Sims and watch Grey's Anatomy and nothing else all day. Do you not feel miserable? Do you not feel like you are a useless piece of shit in the human society? Like, you don't incorporate anything, really. So I'm trying to think of anything else you could be stressed about. What you're going to have for dinner. That's literally all I can think about. And that's what you would have for dinner is like the only thing I think of you to be stressed about, because honestly, what? Because you don't have social relationships either, so I don't know what you have to be stressed about, because I don't know. But what you say, you are very willing and are used to spend time alone because no one would reach out, which seems kind of insane, because apparently you had a phone so young and had internet access too early. But you didn't try to find a way to talk to people. Like, what I used to do was I live 20 fucking miles out of town. My nearest neighbor is 2.5 miles away. And what I would do is I'd have my mom's phone number, and I'd ask her, hey, Mom, can I text my friends because I want to have a social relationship and not be stupid and insecure? And she would say, oh, yes, of course. You can text your friends and call your friends. Like, have fun. Go have fun with it. And also, I didn't get a phone until 7th grade, and I would do that when I was in 5th grade. And so yeah, lonely summers obviously existed in me, and I hated having to rebuild social relationships every single school year, because it would take me at least 2 or 3 months. Like, it was annoying and terrible, and I hated it. So, but also, I didn't lock myself in my room and be miserable all day, because that is unhealthy, and and honestly, I was also told, go outside. So, and also, I probably have a sibling, because you are also an only child, so you probably didn't have really anything to do for your life, because you obviously are miserable if you want this much attention from everyone. But you also locked yourself in your room all the time. So you're also just sitting there in your room playing Sims on your phone. You aren't socially connected in any way, because I know you're just doom scrolling. You're not doing anything on there. And, obviously everyone else at school knows you don't have a good social life. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine not to be good socially, but it's not okay if plans are made completely around your schedule and what you feel comfortable doing and what you want to do. But when you canceled those plans that were helped so you would go out with us the day before, like, when everything is finalized, everyone is excited to go, you cancel. I was really excited to go to the fair with you. I was really excited to see how you would just go out, because the only time I've really hung out with you is at school and in your house. So I just wanted to know what you would be like in the outside world, surrounded by actual people. It also makes me and Eris feel like we don't matter as your friends, because you cancel on us very last minute. And yeah, because it's not just what you feel, it's about us too. And it doesn't matter if your actions weren't personal to us. It still hurts, because just because it wasn't the intent to hurt us doesn't mean it changed. It doesn't mean that it didn't hurt us and made us distrust you and not want to make plans with you. Because saying yes, and you were so happy to go until you said, no, I don't want to go anymore, until one day before, is kind of shitty of you. Really, it really makes us feel like you don't want to even, hang around us anymore. So, yeah. And also, remember the 4th of July when you were invited to a party to have fun with Jadis, and I think other people, I don't really know. But then you didn't, you said you didn't want to go. You also, I'm pretty sure you canceled on them the 2nd or the 3rd, which they did invite you to. And then you didn't regret it until there were Instagram posts, and you're like, maybe I should have gone, and then maybe I should have gone. So what I get from that is that you don't actually care about people. You care about what people think of you and perceive you as, aka what you think your reputation is. And I'll tell you now that you don't have one. You don't have a reputation because you don't reach out to others. And you don't have a social life because you don't reach out to others. You can't always expect someone to reach out to you all the time. And you expect people to just knock on your door and say hi to you. And you also said you have improved, but I can tell that you aren't improving or trying for the people around you. You just staying home and sitting on your phone and fucking Sims and watching Grey's Anatomy, sitting in your trashy, smelly, stinky ass room all day. I can tell you, it's not doing anything to help you improve your social life or improve your social battery, because yeah, it's really not. And I think you should think about that. Yeah, because obviously therapy doesn't work. Oh, perfect. For you, stating you did go to therapy, but I remember when we were sitting in the stairwell at lunch at school, you said, no, I don't want therapy, even though my parents offered to, so I can get help on my insomnia. So you didn't, which is another lie saying you did. And going back to protecting images, saying it was a joke when you were crying and showing emotions that weren't joking feeling from an outside perspective. And you have told us before that you don't like sex and really uncomfortable with that sort of thing, just to come back saying you did want it when Alan kind of forced you to do it, which is kind of weird, because you had previously said, ugh, sex is weird, I don't like that, I don't want someone that close to me. Just to come back crying saying that you didn't want to do it and weren't comfortable doing it, you didn't want to do it, and then lying about such serious shit constantly is not going to grant you pity and attention if you keep doing it. I'm just gonna say it now. No one if you say and joke about serious things constantly, no one's gonna believe you, and basically you're a liar. It doesn't mean that it didn't hurt us and made us distrust you and not want to make plans with you, because saying yes. And it also kind of seems like you are a pathological liar, because you do constantly lie about things. And I know you probably might be, I don't know. And Eris called me, tried to get some advice on how to comfort you, and she felt guilty that she couldn't help you while you called her crying, saying you regret doing things that you did with Alan. And if you really had a problem with therapy and a therapist comforting and helping you as their job, where they are licensed and have many different ways they can help you and like help you progress in what you want to progress in, like social help or not wanting to be crazy, then why did you brush off both me and Eris while we were trying to help you, while it isn't our job and just doing it because we hope you do well and care? And then you also said you don't want a person who's paid to do it. You want people who actually care, but when we do it, you just throw us out in the trash and like kind of ignore us when we're just kind of trying to help you and make you be a better human being. I just don't understand that either. And speaking of Eris, I know you texted her all the time, and mostly it was about Alan, asking where he was and what he's doing, and basically asking Eris to stalk Alan, which is really fucking creepy and weird. And same in the group chat, almost everything you put onto the group chat is basically just about Alan, which is also really weird and obsessive too. And it also kind of made me uncomfortable because it was like, you don't want to talk to me unless it was about Alan and your boyfriend. And I think you also struggle to feel and understand how other people feel. Like you don't understand body language or word of text or how they would talk. And that you really kind of brushed me off in the original video I sent. And I know that you were trying to be understanding, but from an outside perspective, you really weren't being empathetic. But I just kind of dismissing me on no matter what I said. And what I was feeling, which I also think is a lack of empathy for you and your parents. And yes, you were left alone while your parents worked so they can support you. Because I know you as a person are really fucking expensive. And me personally, I was left alone as a kid watching my brother a lot because my parents were going to work, making money for me and my brother so we can actually have a decent life. And as was Eris. But Eris had it a lot different and worse than you. And at like 6 years old, she had 3 siblings and was changing diapers and changing pull-ups. And her mom you know what her mom would do? Because her dad is so fucking incompetent to do things. She had a microwave. She would tell Eris, put food in here, and she would put a sticker on the button she wanted Eris to press so she could make food for her siblings. She would fucking microwave food for her siblings. She would put stickers on there. What did you do? Probably watch TV or scroll on your phone on YouTube and playing fucking Roblox. See, that's so fucking traumatic. Just sitting around playing Roblox and watching TV and probably watching YouTube, like the child you were. And obviously that's so fucking traumatic. And honestly, I think if you found a mutual ground with your parents, that would be another step forward to work on you forgiving each other and because honestly having a relationship with your parents is so fucking important in general. And then I'll also bring up the fact that you didn't talk about Eris like at all. Like just looking into your friendship from like an outside perspective, because I'm friends with you, but like I'm not in the duo between you and Eris. It seems like she's the only person reaching out and like trying to make plans and trying to talk to you, and you just don't, like, at all. And the only time you really are the first to text is if it's about Alan, which is really fucking weird. And are you ever no, because you're not ever the first person to reach out. And no, if it wasn't about Alan, you aren't. And you aren't even likely to talk to Eris if it wasn't about Alan. So sometimes it seems like she is just your therapist, and because she cares a lot about you, but you really don't reciprocate that, and you don't reciprocate the care she has for you. And I find that it's selfish for you. You're selfish. You're really selfish. And if you want to change, maybe learn what it means to actually care about others and like be the incentive to actually have a relationship with someone. And yeah, and maybe if you learn what it means to care about others, you might actually, instead of worrying what others think of you, you could think about how to care for others, because I know very, very few people actually think of you because of how distant you are from them. And just because you're never the first person to catch up or just call or just talk, just at all. So no wonder you care so much about your reputation, but you obviously don't have one because you don't put yourself out there. So no one actually thinks of you ever. No matter how often you actually think they think about you, they don't think about you at all because you are just non-existent in their lives. And Eris also has a very busy life, yet she goes out of her way to help you with your problems, while hers goes unreciprocated. She is also scared she's going to lose your friendship because she feels that you only talked to her was because she was Alan's cousin, and you're Alan's boyfriend. So it kind of felt like, oh, she's close to Alan, so why don't we, like, I'll become friends with her, so maybe she'll give me tips on how to, like, make Alan actually like me, because obviously he didn't if you acted the way you did. And also, friendships are really not fucking easy. So if you don't want to put in the effort for them, then you won't have them. So don't expect friendships to be there if you constantly drop them and just ignore people constantly. So, because eventually no one's going to want to put up with your bullshit and just not talk to you ever again. Okay, and we're on the final stretch here, so chill out. I know you're, but chill. So, okay, so I feel like the only reason why you responded to me at all was because you were more worried about me gossiping about you to ruin your reputation, which I already mentioned, you don't have one, which means you don't actually care about our relationship. Well, I have tried to be a good friend to you, and it really, really fucking stings and hurts me that you would actually think I would gossip about you. The only person I'd tell people about you is my mom, and she doesn't fucking know you. Like, she's never seen your face before, so you're golden. And it was also bothering me because I could tell how much it was bothering and affecting Eris because she was basically your therapist, and then you basically brushed her off when you and Alan broke up, and nothing, like, happened after that. Like, you kind of stopped talking to her. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but Eris is afraid to lose you, and so am I. But also, I'm starting to believe that you are a narcissist and that you're unwilling to get better for any shape, form, or reason because you don't believe that you should be the one putting in effort for relationships when it is a mutual thing. So if someone doesn't want your friendship, and okay, let's put it this way, because I know you're too hollow in the head to understand. If you put in effort for someone, they will probably put the effort back. They will show you the same kind of effort. But if they put in the effort for the friendship and you don't put in any effort at all, you're not going to have friendship anymore. Let's think about that, because obviously you have a toddler level experience with friends. So, yeah, maybe think about that.